I think we are live, right?
Let's give it a minute.
Join.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining in. So actually, I'm trying out. Okay, so sorry about the echo. I'm trying out the LinkedIn audio feature. So this is my first LinkedIn audio session and also a YouTube video live streaming. So if you guys have any question, put it in. I don't know if you can put it in this chat on LinkedIn, or can you? If anyone have you if you've attended the LinkedIn audio session, I don't know how it works, or you can come and ask your questions.
Okay, it looks like just trying it out again for the first time, right? So, I think you can raise your hand. I'm
Okay.
trying to raise your hand. If you raise your hand, if the host approves, that's like now she approves, you can unmute to speak, and that's how you can ask the questions on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so anyone can go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, so
that's me. I was
okay.
just trying it out. So
Okay.
yeah, you can block me. It's fine.
Yeah, so if anyone of you have any questions, do ask. And this is just a mentorship session for us to answer any questions that you have. First, let's introduce ourselves.
Right.
I'm Lekna. I've been in this data space for over 5 years now. Currently working as a senior data governance analyst. So that's my background. So
Right.
here with me is Raj Shaker. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why we're together, Lekna is my wife, and we're husband and wife. Well, I've been also in data space for about 6 years now. Prior to that, I was in automation. I'm currently director of data science at a Fortune 500 company. So I've been hands-on. I have hands-on experience in building models, deploying them, and now oversee all the projects in the company related to AI and data science.
So if you're transitioning to data or trying to get into the data science space, and if you have any questions, let us know and we can go ahead and answer them. And you can raise your hand to speak. So, and I've been getting a lot of questions. I think one of the question was about like if you're already trying to get into masters, right? And you're trying, because there are so many specializations in data today, like machine learning, deep learning, and those kind of stuff, right? So how do you go ahead and choose the domain, or should you even choose a domain? Like, do you want to answer that, Raj?
When you say domain, are you talking about the program domain or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean still data science is new. A lot of the universities don't have a data science major. Not many universities, but few universities are starting to come up with data science courses. So take a look at it and pick something that's interesting for you. In data science, again, you can choose a specialization, but once you learn basic machine learning, all of that, fundamentals of machine learning, data science, data analytics, visualization, SQL and all that stuff, you'll have to pick one of the majors, and that's more advanced, I would say. Um, yeah, I think we have someone who wants
Yes.
to ask a question. Let's take one.
All right.
See, like recently I came to study my master's at Texas A&M University Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so right now I'm studying master's in business analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Experience as a lead generation specialist. It's kind of like I have done in Salesforce. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to make the career transition to data science.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where to start and what are the things that should I need to cover to sustain in the US market, and how is the job market right now. So I can't able to understand what is the uh, is this the right time to shift into data science career transition, because the market is not that hype for data science right now in US, that I heard right now. So what are the tips that you can give, like if 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 there is any future, like, or at what like what are the things that I need to learn?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Thank you, Krishnamamsi, for that question. Yeah, like I said, data science is very vast. If you're just starting in data science is not going to be easy. Um, if you don't have background in programming, if you don't have background in research, it's going to be difficult. It's data science, not data engineering, right? So engineering is different from science or scientist. So if you're trying to become a data scientist, it is not easy. The reason why you think the market is not good, probably one of the reasons why you're thinking of that is recently we've seen a lot of universities, a lot of master students with data science masters coming out, and that's like reducing the quality overall. Not, I wouldn't say quality, but overall level for data scientists. So there are more candidates, that's making a competition, but I don't, finding good data science candidates is still a challenge. Um, so I think there's still a lot of demand for data scientists, but you got to be really good. There's a lot of things, so you cannot be just a hacker that is going to some Stack Overflow or just googling for some code or Python code, just copy paste the code and see if it works. If you are at that level, you can't call yourself a data scientist. It's really hard for you to come up with solutions that can be implemented or deployed in production. So you got to understand some level of math underneath it. You need to understand how these algorithms work and what are the different algorithms, what are the different methodologies, and implement it right. So I hope that answers your question, Krishnamamsi.
Yeah, like I learned, so I know a bit of program. I know I have a background of programming already, like so Python and data science. Like I have like, but I know up to the level of like not up to the level of machine learning. I know up to the level of like what are the things that needs to be data analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
requirements just like the basic things I know.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to be a data scientist, so I need to go beyond machine learning, right?
I mean, in machine learning, you need to go deeper. If you just know how to use versus how do you know which machine learning algorithms to use, you need to have the knowledge of the industry. You need to apply the right machine learning algorithm to it. Again, in machine learning, once you get through the basics, you always can learn more things, like you need to pick natural language processing, forecasting, or computer vision, recommendation systems. You've got to pick your specialization and focus on it deeper. General machine learning people are more and more available these days. So companies that are looking for computer vision or NLP would look for candidates with those specializations. There's a lot to learn in each of these domains. So don't try to learn everything. Pick one that interests you and go deeper into it.
Yeah.
So, what about the cloud technology? What are the cloud technologies that we need to learn for a data science? Do we need? Is it compulsory to learn cloud for data science?
Uh, I mean, cloud is generally required for everything. Basic knowledge. You don't have to set up an infrastructure as a data scientist, right? There are other teams who do that, like DevOps teams or data engineers. But as a data scientist, what work you cannot get someone else to do, or what is your core work, is mainly the algorithm selection, data processing, analysis, building the model, testing the model, deploying. Those are something that nobody else can do. So you have to be good at that. Anything else? I think there's a word that people are coining things like full stack data scientist or full stack machine learning engineer
Yeah.
and things like that. So you could call yourself something like that if you know the cloud technologies, all the technologies that go into building and deploying a full scale machine learning project into a production.
Yeah, I think a lot of new people are joining in. So if you have any questions, raise your hand and we will let you speak. So
And
Krishna Vamsi. Mm-hmm.
last question, how much? So, is there any tools that we need to learn in big data tools to that helpful for data science? So, do we need to learn any big data tools for data science?
So Krishnamurti, just like I said, there are other people who can do big data too, right? So if you don't know the machine learning, don't know how the advanced algorithms, then no matter whether you know big data or not, you'll not be able to become a data scientist. So core skills, I told you already, focus on those. On top of that, if you add on these skills, it's going to be beneficial. But you don't
It's always
always
good to
need to,
have it,
yeah.
but yeah,
It's
focus
not
on the core.
necessary, I
Yeah.
would say. Depends on the company and their requirements.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
What?
So anyone else wants to go next? Wants to ask a question? So nobody, everyone just wants to listen and not ask questions.
I think we have someone. Shiju.
Okay, so awesome. So let's allow. Okay, Shiju. Hi, Shiju.
Shiju, you got to unmute your mic.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Shiju, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I was new into this data science. I want to eager to learn what is data science, and I was working in another sector. So, what is my roadmap? How I set the roadmap for how many months is needed, and what are the courses need to be completed?
Okay, what's your current position, or what kind of skills do you currently have, Shiju?
I was in the project management and planning and project controls in the construction and AI projects.
Oh, you're already working on AI projects. You're product manager.
I was assistant. I was not a complete project manager.
Got
I
it.
was an assisting the project manager.
And you want to leave management and go into data scientist? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay. It is not going to be an easy path, depending on how much programming you do. Currently, if you're into management, most likely not much. So it will be a lot of work. And if you don't have
I
any,
think probably the first step would be data analytics. Like usually for people with not much of programming background, I always recommend to take an analytics path and then move into data science, which is core again. I
right.
think that needs more programming and technical knowledge. So go ahead. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's and data scientist position or it's fancy and it's nice because of good salaries, a lot of demand in the industry, a lot of hype or news that AI and data science is making today, but it's not for everyone. So make sure you really like what a data scientist will be doing. before diving in. If it's a lot of work, it's like you want to become an architect, but you're in a completely different field. It's not easy. People do 4-year course, then sometimes masters before they can become that. Similarly, data scientist is someone who would do like if you have a good undergrad in data related courses, something related to data analytics, data science, data engineering, big data. If you have some background, then it's a little easier to become a data scientist. But again, if you have that research mind, ability to code complex things, come up with new algorithms, or understand very complex things.
So yeah, so I think the path that I would recommend is Shiju is maybe try get like learning SQL and then Power BI, get into the analytics side of things first, and then maybe get in like once you're like familiar with it, you're comfortable with it, then get into data science. I think that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, definitely. Analytics is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. I think we had a few questions. Someone else also raised hand. All right. Sharon?
Yes. Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, so actually, my question is okay, let me first tell you guys about my background. So, I've completed my master's in mathematics, and then I pursued a PGD diploma course in business analytics. So, I'm also doing another course now, which is project management. In Canada. So, I have questions like I actually want to start with data analytics, but I really don't know what is required. I don't know that we need SQL and Excel, everything. But when I just look into the job requirements, maybe LinkedIn or Indeed, whatever, most of the job requirements, they are in need of people who know Power BI, SQL, Excel, and then Python. Like, seems like they require all these skills. So being a starter, like I don't have any job experience. So my question is like, what do I really have to do?
Yeah, I think one of the most like pretty much everyone talk about like wanting, like especially in the job description, they would want Python. That's another compulsory skill, and Power BI. So what I would say is that like focus on like Power BI as a data analyst. Like Power BI is really important. Like it's always good to know Power BI or Tableau, depending on what visualization tool you choose. Visualization is compulsory as a data analyst. And then obviously, of course, like any data role will need SQL. So, and then Python actually these days, I think a lot of data analyst roles need Python, but it's not like, at the level of a data scientist. So you would probably need just like the basic packages of Python, like pandas, NumPy, like the visualization packages basically. So focus on the visualization packages for Python, and more heavily focus on Power BI and SQL, and get your like core skills, and then like learn whatever you other things like what you want to learn.
Right. I think you already have a good foundation in mathematics.
Mathematics,
A lot of them actually lack that. I've been interviewing a lot of candidates, even for like data analytics, and one thing that is a big miss is they focus a lot on the tactical, which is knowing the tools, but then how to use it. That is where the mathematics and being able to translate the real world into mathematics or using statistics comes into picture. So you seem to have a good background in mathematics, which is a great positive for you, for your profile. Leverage that. On top of that, you got to just pick up these tools. So you know what and how, what and why, and now you just need to pick up how, which should come easy to you because of your background in mathematics.
Yeah, so another thing is like when I look at the job requirements again, so basically they are hiring for people like at least with 3 years of experience, 3+ years of experience. So what really I have to do to I don't know, like nobody's offering a data analyst role for a fresher, or I don't know, maybe what I was thinking was maybe I have to get myself into internships, right? So maybe that will lead, but still internship is also, maybe it might be for 4 months or 8 months or for a year, but like they're like asking for 3+ years of experience, so I don't know what to do about that.
So Sharon, for the experience part, like I've like spoken to many folks who want to transition. So one thing that you can do is like they obviously any job description they will ask at least minimum of 2 years of experience. So that experience for especially for data analytics, you can show it through either like an internship or like a volunteering. Like you can just volunteer somewhere and get that experience. Like it need not be for like a monetary value. It's just for an experience. So I would say just reach out to like the startups nearby, or like even just the online. I think there was an website called forage.com
Okay.
where you can do internships online, and it's pretty good. Like you can check that out. You can get a real world experience and show that on your resume.
Right. You can do volunteering also. You can also create infographics. Start posting your infographics into LinkedIn. Share your work.
Yeah.
Work on projects. Right. So a focused 3 months of work can be equivalent to 6 months of just corporate experience without much focus. Right. So focus on your projects. Spend a lot of time. Go deep into your projects and generate a lot of projects. Also, sometimes you can leverage your masters as 2 years. So, one more thing that commonly happens is uh, generally women are a little more scared to apply for jobs, thinking that they are not satisfying
Yeah.
all the criteria. So,
Yeah.
just go ahead and apply. If you get a call, you get a call. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, I would say like in the job description, if you meet at least like 50%
50%.
of the requirements, I think you should just go ahead and apply.
Right. A lot of times it'll be bachelor's plus 3 years or 2 years experience. You can say you have bachelor's plus you have master's and postgraduate diploma, right? So those things will still add towards your experience. Lot of the companies would still consider that as experience beyond bachelor's degree. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like that is what really scares me. Like when I look at the requirements, I'm like, what should I really do? So yeah, this is really helpful. So the website that you said was can you just repeat that?
It's forage, forage.com.
Okay, sure. I'll check it out. And also another question. You guys are actually doing this SQL 21 days course, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I actually tried to register, sign up for the thing, but then I missed the payment thing because so I was not able to participate. But to maybe fortunately in the next batch. But I just have questions like, do you guys have any plans to start something similar with Power BI or Python, like the skills required for data analysts?
Yeah, sometime next year, Sharon. Probably this year we might not do any other batches.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
all right, there's a lot of people asking questions, so let's limit questions to one question per person,
So
like, other than follow-ups, right? So we can now give an opportunity for everyone to ask.
all right, Jagannath, you're on.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, ma'am. Actually, hi everyone. And I want to say I am doing my master's in data science now. So this is my second year pursuing that degree. Now, actually, I'm applying for the data scientist jobs, but they are only getting revert back because they need experience. I know I don't have any experience, so what project do you need for such experience? I would say, what experience?
make up for these projects. It was.
Okay.
Jagannath,
So-
you're in India, okay. Yeah, the market
Yes.
is different in different parts of the world. So yeah, generally more projects you do, that is relevant. If you have an industry that you picked out, if you go to storytellingbydata.com, you can see we have created some career guides where you can use that to understand how to work on different projects or how to pick your projects. You can pick based on industry, you can pick based on skills, and then you can, if you have some dream jobs, or if there are only certain companies, hiring right now, you can focus on those, target those companies and create projects that they would be interested in. At the same time, you should be very good at that project, because if you're worked on a project that your company that you're applying to or is hiring, they would know that subject very well, and they would question you and try to understand it better. So
And I think when it comes to like picking project, like I would say do multiple like projects like while you're learning itself, and then like see what your interest is. Like obviously not all projects would be as exciting as like whichever industry or whichever problem that you like, right? So start doing multiple like micro projects, and then like whichever problem statement you like, pick that and do like an elaborate project on it. Like it could be like either, I don't know, like the COVID thing, like whichever problem is like you relate to more, and try to go deeper into it, like maybe scrape the data and do it on your own. So I
So
would
you
say
are like real life projects more.
right,
See.
yeah.
more real life, the better it is.
Yes.
I am now working on a deep learning project that is video summarization for intruder detection. Further, any idea, any more?
I think that's a good project. It's not a very common project that you'd see on
Yeah.
resume, so I like it. Just go continue with that. But if you're going with advanced ones, make sure you understand and not just copy paste code from internet
Yes,
and
Yeah.
I know
implement.
that. Yeah,
All right, all the
I
best.
don't do plagiarizing
Yeah.
now.
All right, so we'll go to the next person. It is, let's see. Okay. Yeah. So how do I pronounce your name, Yogesh? Like the first. Okay, I think Yogesh is
Yeah,
easier.
written well. No.
It's fine. Don't
Okay.
butcher it.
Yeah.
So Yogesh, you can ask your question. Okay, I think we have another question here from the YouTube live. So Ravi Chandra is asking, can a guy from Bachelor of Arts be a data analyst? And he's done Google Data Analytics certificate course. So what's your take on that?
Depends on the location where you're trying to find jobs, and if you have enough courses, enough projects, someone will be there they're willing to give you a job. Especially in especially startups, they would be willing to take a look at your resume or talk to you compared to bigger companies. So start there. And make sure you're good at data analytics and not just do one course and you'll say you're a data
Yeah,
analyst.
I think many people do that. Like they just take the Google Data Analytics certificate and they're like, okay, can I become a data analyst now? Like, I think you need to do more, like do more projects, get that real world experience, and then with one certificate. I think data is not like a certificate kind of a role, right? Like you have the certificate, you just don't become that. So I think more real world projects, more experience with data would make you a better data professional.
Right.
So Yogesh, I think you have to unmute yourself if you have a question, or we'll just move on to the next person. It's Pratik. So Pratik.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Pratik?
Actually, I had a question regarding data analyst. With your prior permission, if I can proceed with the same.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So actually, I've got multiple questions. From the past few time, I was studying data analyst, and let me just brief out my prior experience with you. I was like into the financial domain in the insurance domain. Then I switched to as a web developer intern. But I just complete my internship. There I analyzed कि ठीक है, this domain is not for me. So that is why I came into a point that I'll go for data analyst. So for individuals like me who are transitioning from a web developer or from different domain to into data analyst, right? So how can a transition from different domain? The first question is that, man.
Okay. Yeah, so as a web, like, were you a web developer? Okay, so what are the skills that you know?
With respect to web developer like HTML, CSS, React.js,
Okay.
but I actually did know that all those skills won't matter in case of data analyst.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's why, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say, like, I mean, since like web developer, again, you're a technical person, right? So you would already be aware of some technical skills, so which is a plus, like, compared to someone completely different, right? So based on that, for a data analyst, I would say the foundation again would be SQL, Excel, and visualization. So focus on these three things, uh, and then slowly build on top of it. That would be my suggestion. So build on top of it in the sense, like, you can learn Python for the data visualization stuff. The visualization stuff for like all the Python packages related to visualization. So I think that's the route that I would take.
Right, Tableau, Power BI for visualization as well.
So actually, broadly speaking, that SQL can be used for data processing, like we are crunching with the data, processing on the data. But what about data cleaning? We will not be provided with a clean data set, right?
Yes.
So what does the Python take? What does the Python's role in that data cleaning process or data visualization? Because my question is that we can do data visualization using Power BI also. Then why would some individual or something companies like visualization through Python?
Right, so it gives you a lot more flexibility. So Power BI has limited visualizations or limited forecasting and things like that. So with Python, you can build a lot more complex systems. You can even build websites. You can host dashboards too. It's also about to certain industries. It's probably also the cost factor. Python is free. Power BI, you need to buy a subscription and all that stuff.
Yeah, actually, if you look at it in Power BI, there are limited visualizations, right? Like you can use only certain like type of visuals. So if you want to go one step ahead, like, and try to do something on your own, that kind of flexibility is there in Python.
Right.
Whereas Power BI, you're limited to a certain visualizations.
Right, so you can do a lot of things with just Excel. Power BI is next level, which brings a dynamism or refresh automatically every day, and at certain intervals you can drill through and things like that. Python is even more flexibility, but then you need to write code. Even in like Power BI or Excel, it's still basic, but with code you have more flexibility to go forward and create any analysis or visualization that you want to do. Python is a lot more powerful thing. Even data scientists use Python majority of the time. So yeah, that kind of is why some of the companies require Python for data analysts. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So actually, I was asking that during the interviews that a fresher doesn't know what salary he needs to negotiate on, right? Because there are many companies out there who just underpay the salaries or so, right? So in that case, how would a fresher know he should not bargain below this salary, or what will be his market value as a fresher?
There are websites like
yeah,
Glassdoor.
Levels,
Yeah.
Levels FY, right?
Yeah,
Levels.fyi
I think
or
so.
something. I don't know, but if it's
If it's
if it
also in
works
India,
in India, but here in the US, levels.fyi is a good site to see, how much people, like especially freshers, are asking.
yeah, the best thing for you to do is if you have multiple offers, then you can negotiate. Without multiple offers, it's hard for you to negotiate on the salary. So try and get multiple offers. Other places is like Glassdoor and other websites similar to that. I don't know which ones are very active in India today. Those kind of also give you based on city. It changes based on
And I think
city
there is
and
another
company.
app that only like professionals use.
Fishbowl is another
Fishbowl,
one,
yes.
right?
Where actually working professionals are in that app, and you can, like, I don't know how it,
Anonymously ask
yeah,
questions.
anonymously. So you can do that. Probably you'll be able to get an answer there.
All right, let's take the next question from another person. Um, thanks, Pratik, for the questions. Good questions.
Thank you so much.
All right, next, Deepan.
Hello, ma'am. Sir, happy Diwali to you.
Oh, happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
Sir, actually, I'm currently doing my bachelor's in two maybe intersection domains like BSc in statistics and data science, and I'm learning so much of things, like so much of tools, but I need some platform where I can find tasks that is related to the professional, and they're just kind of giving those tasks as a freelance for us to do and then learn. And it can be paid or unpaid. It doesn't matter, but I need some platform where I can find these tasks to use these tools.
Right,
Please
so
suggest me.
yeah, I think something like Fiverr. I've not used Fiverr, but I think you can find something like that in Fiverr.
For paid, yeah.
You can showcase your projects, and someone can come to you saying, "Take this data, give me data analysis on this," or something like that. So, I've heard of stories where people have found such one-off tasks that someone is looking for to be done. Fiverr is something that I know. Do you know any
So-
other websites like no?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, you're asking for a paid sort of work, right? Deepan?
No, ma'am, no. Actually, I just need a task.
He's looking for more like projects
okay.
that someone really wants to use.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think I think probably that's the one, I guess. Like, I don't. So maybe you might want to actually check out. There's another recent one. It's called projectpro.com. I think I saw, a couple of like data science, a lot of these data sets, like people who like really want, this problem to be solved. They put up, I think it's based on a subscription kind of thing. I don't know. You might want to check. It's called projectpro.com. So probably that site might help you out.
Right, and also volunteering or getting an internship in startups would also give you.
Yeah, and
really good
another
projects.
probably thing that I would add to that is like even non-profits. Maybe you can reach out to these non-profits, especially the big ones like what is that? Make-A-Wish Foundation and all those different, these foundations. They'll also have a lot of data, and they would really need that help. So if you really want to do something for like a social cause or something like that, maybe that's a good way you can start, or at least like apply your knowledge there. I hope that answered your question.
Ma'am, one more question. Does certificates really matter? Like, do we need to do more certifications?
I think if you have the way I perceive about certifications is certifications gets you an interview or gets you past the initial filtration that's done by HR or an automated system on the website. only that you can cross. Most of the times, this is a college degree and certain certification courses. Like certain companies would say, I want someone who's got a data analytics certificate from Google or some course from Microsoft and things like that. But not everyone would care about so many certifications. So certifications just says about it, but there's no guarantee that you did that course and you gave that exam. There are it gets you in, but then you have to prove in your interview.
Yeah, thanks for that question, Deepan.
We'll go on to the next person.
Yeah. Hi, Arvind. You can unmute and
Hi,
ask
Lekhna,
question.
and hi, guys. I would like to explain about my background. So, I have studied BSc in statistics, and after that, I have done MBA in business analytics and marketing. So, business analytics was introduced at that point in that particular year only in my second year. So, at that time, they haven't given me much information about the business analytics. As part of the syllabus, they have just explained and they have given some little bit knowledge about the concepts, and we have passed out, and that was done. And I have started my career in sales, so I'm a sales profession currently. So currently I'm looking for a transition into data science. So I have started my course learning Python and MySQL, and also statistics concepts. So how can to where I should focus and in building resume, and how about my career gap, and how can I get the interview attention, how to attract the interviewer by doing what kind of projects.
So how you say you're transitioning to data science from
Yes.
what is your
Sales
technical background? Sales not much useful in data science, as you
I
might
think-
already know, but
Yeah.
what technical
Yes.
background do you have?
My career, my academic background is very much matches the qualification. Like I have done BSc in statistics and computer science.
Okay.
After that, I have done MBA in business analytics and marketing. So I have chosen marketing instead of business analytics at that point of time.
Got it.
Yeah, I think I would say like maybe probably again I think it would be more like focused learning on like SQL and like when it comes to the technical side of it, I would say learn your like the programming skills and analytics skills. Probably brushing up on those would help. And start working on projects early on. Probably if you learn a concept, I would say just start implementing it. Work on projects. And then to answer your question on like how to like do projects and stuff. Sorry that there was a glitch. So yeah. So for when it comes to projects, I would say focus on you will not be able to find the perfect project to put on your resume right at the beginning of your learning journey. You will have to do multiple projects and figure out what you are good at and what kind of problem you resonate to, and then start working on like probably scraping the data and trying to get a good project on your resume. So to get to a very good project on your resume, it'll take time. It is definitely going to take time because you can't put like that Titanic data set, the very common ones. I would not recommend you put them on your resume. Try to work on multiple projects and then figure out a good project that you can showcase.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. And I would like to know the exact difference between data scientist and machine learning engineer and data analyst. I'm aware of data analyst. Like data analyst basically do the visualization part using Power BI and also SQL. But how it is different from data scientist and machine learning engineer or machine learning?
Right, I can take that question now, Arvind. This is Raj speaking. So when it comes to data scientist and machine learning engineer, a lot of companies use it interchangeably. So look at the job description to be clear what they're expecting. But in general, I would say data scientist is a scientist, and machine learning engineer is an engineer who's focusing more on uh, not inventing new algorithms, not doing much of research, but implementing algorithms and taking it into production. That's the main role for a machine learning engineer who's already an engineer, who's good at coding and all this stuff, may not be that much inclined in research, but knows and understands how to train models and implement and deploy the models. So that's a machine learning engineer. Data scientist, on the other hand, again, it's different for different companies, but commonly data scientist is someone who looks at data and understands, analyzes, does some research, figures out the best algorithm to use, experiment with it, continue to tune it, and all those things, and not so much attention on the deployment side. You could be less of an engineer, but research and scientist, as a scientist, you need to do research. That those skills become more important. Coming up with new algorithms, choosing the right algorithms, a lot of experimentation.
And I think he was asking about machine learning engineer too.
Right. So the machine learning engineer focuses more on the deployment and simpler machine learning models. A data scientist focuses more on research and identifying the right algorithms and playing around with the data.
Mm-hmm. And thanks, Arvind. We will go to the next question, the last question before we wrap up. Amir. Amir, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, ma'am. I have done BE in mechanical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a career gap of about 7 years. And now I want to switch my career into as a data analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So from which platform I would like to learn this course?
So there's a journey that you can take. Okay.
Yeah, I want
there
to
was some
switch
echo.
into data analyst.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe here's the thing, like if you have a career gap, I think we spoke about this, having a certificate is good. It kind of gives you that credibility that at least it gets you your foot in the door kind of thing. So you can actually start with getting a couple of certificates and then applying that learning through projects, or maybe just volunteer and do some internships to actually show the employer that you have that experience, and at least to cover up that that gap that you have, and then get a job. So definitely I would say it is going to take time, but I would say utilize that time really well and start working on first certifications and then maybe projects, and then probably volunteering or internships, and then